Unlock the secrets to living with clarity and purpose after awakening. I often ask myself this: what does it truly mean to awaken? Is it a moment of dazzling clarity? Or is it an unending journey filled with paradoxes and questions that defy easy answers? As you sit with me now, I want you to imagine this process not as a destination but as a new way of seeing, a lens through which the world, and your role in it, becomes clear. We often hear about awakening as a grand, mystical event. But what happens after that moment? What comes after the surge of realization when the veil is lifted, and you see life for what it is? This is where the real work begins, the work of aligning your newfound understanding with how you live, how you think, and how you love. You might wonder, why is clarity so elusive in this world? Think about your day-to-day life. How often do you sit with yourself, truly sit, without distractions? We live in a time when silence feels almost threatening. And yet, clarity begins in silence. It's in the stillness where you start to distinguish between the noise of the world and the quiet voice of your own truth. Have you ever asked yourself, what is the source of this noise within me? Here's something profound to consider: the purpose of awakening is not to escape life but to live it more fully. This realization might sound simple, but in practice, it challenges everything. You start to see that much of what you chased, success, validation, comfort, was rooted in fear, not love. Pause here for a moment. What drives your choices, fear or love? The struggle between knowing and doing. When you awaken, you are confronted with the immense gap between knowing the truth and living it. You begin to see how your conditioned patterns resist change, even when you know better. Why do we cling to old habits, even when they no longer serve us? The answer lies in the mind's desire for familiarity. The mind equates the known with safety, even when the known is painful. To live with clarity, you must learn to question your mind without hostility. You must ask yourself, is this thought helping me live my truth? Or is it pulling me back into the fog of confusion? Each day becomes a practice, a choice to align with clarity instead of chaos. And purpose, purpose. Many people mistake purpose for a singular, grand mission. But purpose is something far more fluid. It's the quality of presence you bring to each moment. Are you fully alive to what you're doing? Or are you somewhere else, chasing a future that may never come? Practical steps toward clarity and purpose. Let's make this tangible. Clarity is not a gift that descends upon you, it's a skill you cultivate. Begin by simplifying your life. What can you let go of, physically, mentally, emotionally? Simplicity clears space for clarity to emerge. Journaling is another powerful tool. Write down your thoughts each morning. Not to analyze them but to empty your mind. When you declutter your mind, your heart has room to speak. Purpose, 2, requires cultivation. Start small. Each day, set an intention: today, I will be present, or today, I will act with kindness. Over time, these small acts of purpose grow into a life of profound meaning. Now, I want to leave you with this question: if you stripped away all the roles you play, all the labels you wear, who would you be? The dance between surrender and intention, walking the path after awakening. After awakening, we often face a paradox: the need to let go while also stepping forward with intention. This is not a contradiction but a dance, a dynamic interplay between surrender and purposeful action. How do we balance these forces without losing ourselves in one or the other? Surrender often gets misunderstood. It's not about giving up or resigning yourself to fate. True surrender is the act of releasing resistance to what is. It's the recognition that life flows in ways we cannot control. And our task is not to fight the current but to navigate it with awareness. But here's the twist: surrender doesn't mean passivity. It doesn't mean you stop dreaming, acting, or striving. The key lies in acting without attachment to the outcome. Can you strive for something with all your heart while letting go of the need for it to turn out exactly as you imagined? Pause here. Reflect for a moment. When was the last time you acted without attachment? Was there freedom in it? Or do you find yourself tangled in the web of expectations? Weighed down by the fear of failure or the need for validation? Intention as a guiding light. While surrender is about releasing control, intention is about clarity of purpose. When you set an intention, you are planting a seed. That seed grows not because you force it but because you nurture it with care, trust, and patience. Intention aligns your actions with your values and ensures that your energy is directed toward what truly matters. But how do you set an intention that resonates with your awakened self? Start by asking yourself this question: what is my deepest truth? And how can I live in alignment with it today? Intention is not about chasing external goals, it's about expressing your authentic self in every action, no matter how small. Imagine that every thought, word, and deed is a brushstroke painting the masterpiece of your life. Are you painting with care and awareness? Or are you letting the brush move haphazardly? The role of trust in the journey. Living with clarity and purpose requires an immense amount of trust in yourself, in life, and in the unfolding of the unknown. Trust is not blind faith, it is a deep knowing that you are part of something greater. Something that supports you even when the path ahead is unclear. Think of trust as the soil in which surrender and intention take root. Without trust, you will either cling too tightly to control or drift aimlessly without direction. Trust allows you to step forward with courage, even when the next step is shrouded in uncertainty. It whispers to you, you don't need to see the whole path, just take the next step. Facing the shadows. As you walk the path after awakening, you will inevitably encounter your shadows, the unhealed wounds, fears, and limiting beliefs that have been hiding in your subconscious. Awakening doesn't erase these, it shines a light on them, making them impossible to ignore. This is both a blessing and a challenge. When you face your shadows, resist the urge to run away. Instead, approach them with curiosity and compassion. Ask yourself, what is this shadow trying to teach me? What part of me have I rejected that now seeks integration? Remember, your shadows are not your enemies, they are parts of you longing to be understood and loved. Practical steps for the dance. Daily practice of surrender. Each morning, take a moment to release your grip on how you think the day should unfold. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and say to yourself, I trust life to guide me. Notice how this simple act shifts your energy. Clarify your intentions. Write down 1 or 2 intentions for the day. Make them specific yet flexible. For example, instead of saying, I will finish this project, say, I will give my best effort to this project. Embrace the unknown. Challenge yourself to take one action each day without knowing how it will turn out. This could be starting a conversation with a stranger, trying something new, or expressing an unspoken feeling. Shadow work. When a difficult emotion or thought arises, instead of suppressing it, sit with it. Journal about it. Meditate on it. Or talk to someone you trust. The goal is not to fix it but to understand it. Now, let me ask you, if you fully trusted life, how would you live differently? The radiance of authenticity, living fully awakened. What does it mean to live fully awakened? Is it about perfection? About becoming someone who never struggles, doubts, or falters? Or is it about something deeper, something raw, real, and profoundly human? As we move into this final part of the journey, I want you to reflect on this. Living authentically doesn't mean being flawless. It means embracing the fullness of who you are, imperfections and all, and showing up for life with courage and openness. When you awaken, you begin to see through the masks you've worn, the roles you've played to fit in, to be loved, or to feel safe. These masks served a purpose, but they also kept you from truly connecting with yourself and others. Living authentically means taking off those masks, one by one, and allowing your true self to shine. But this isn't easy. Vulnerability is often uncomfortable. It can feel risky to let others see you as you are. Yet, it is through this vulnerability that true connection and freedom are born. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what mask am I still wearing? And what would it feel like to let it go? Authenticity and relationships. One of the most profound shifts after awakening is how you relate to others. When you live authentically, your relationships transform. They become less about meeting expectations or seeking approval and more about genuine connection. But this also means some relationships may fall away. Not everyone will resonate with your awakened self. And that's okay. Authenticity is not about pleasing everyone, it's about honoring your truth. In your relationships, begin to practice radical honesty, not in a way that harms, but in a way that heals. Speak from your heart, even when it's difficult. Express your needs, your fears, and your love without fear of rejection. When you do this, you create space for others to do the same. Authenticity is contagious. But let's not forget, authenticity isn't just about what you share with others, it's also about what you allow yourself to feel. Are you willing to face the emotions you've been avoiding? Are you willing to sit with discomfort instead of numbing it? This is where the radiance of authenticity begins, by being real with yourself. The power of presence. Living fully awakened also means living fully present. It's about bringing your awareness to each moment. Not as a fleeting idea but as a lived experience. Presence is the essence of authenticity because when you're fully present, there's no room for pretense. You're simply here. Now. As you are. But presence takes practice. It's easy to get caught up in the past or worry about the future. When this happens, gently bring yourself back. Focus on your breath. Notice the sensations in your body. Listen deeply to the sounds around you. Presence is not about perfection, it's about returning. Again and again. To the moment. Here's a question for you. When was the last time you truly felt present? Without distractions. What did that feel like? Authenticity as a path of service. As you live more authentically, you may begin to feel a deep desire to serve others. This is not about self-sacrifice but about sharing your light in a way that uplifts and inspires. Authenticity has a ripple effect. When you live your truth, you give others permission to do the same. But service can take many forms. It doesn't have to be grand or dramatic. Sometimes, the simplest acts, listening deeply to a friend, offering kindness to a stranger, or creating something beautiful, can have the most profound impact. Ask yourself, how can I serve today? Not from a place of obligation but from a place of joy. Practical steps to embody authenticity. Daily reflection, at the end of each day. Take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, did I live authentically today? Where did I hold back? And where did I shine? Practice saying no. Authenticity often means setting boundaries. Start small. Say no to something that doesn't align with your values or needs. Notice how it feels. Express gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful tool for authenticity. It shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. Each morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for, not as a chore but as a celebration. Take inspired action. Authenticity is not just about being, it's also about doing. When you feel inspired, act. Trust your intuition, even if the path isn't clear. Living as a beacon. When you live authentically, you become a beacon for others. Your life becomes a testament to what's possible when we embrace our truth and let go of fear. But remember, this is not about perfection. Even as you awaken, you will still face challenges, doubts, and moments of confusion. These are not signs of failure, they are invitations to grow deeper. Let me leave you with one final question: if you were no longer afraid of judgment, failure, or loss, how would you live your life? The answer to that question is the key to unlocking your radiance. Thank you for walking this journey with me. May you live with clarity, purpose, and the courage to be fully, beautifully you.